Hey, everybody. Hey, Lisa.
Hey everyone. Hey Tammy, how's it going?
Good. How are you doing?
Good, thanks.
Hey, Gwen. Good to see you.
Hey Gwen.
How was your weekend, Lisa?
It was good. Actually had a beautiful weekend and then it's been dreary since just because we actually
Mm,
got some rain that we
hmm.
needed, but
Yeah.
cold weather. So
Yeah.
daytime's not too bad except for today is the lowest. It's like
Hmm.
44.
Hmm.
But we're having some nights that are really cold.
Yeah. Hey,
Like,
Suburban Hillbilly.
hey
I
Rebecca.
saw your a video you uploaded recently, and you guys are still getting down to like 30 something at night. Did I get that right? Wow.
Yeah, tonight we're gonna be 33.
Hey, Paula. Good to see you. P&J's Homestead Adventure.
Hey, P&Js. We've got a few nights
Yeah,
in
we have
the
some bad storms coming through, and I think they're hitting you guys too. Are you on the east side of South Dakota or the west side? I can't remember.
West.
Okay, you might be getting spared from the worst of it then.
Yeah, we've got storms coming through and we actually got the rain and we
Mhm.
actually got some pretty significant hail. That's what Suburban
Oh.
Hillbillies talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we had hail come through, got our asparagus, lettuce seedlings,
Oh no.
um, two
How did,
chickens.
2 chickens?
Yeah, one is in the garage. I can't believe she's alive. I'm just
Oh
shocked.
my
I
gosh.
posted on Instagram and I was like, it killed two of our chickens. And the one I found was laying on a bed of hail. That's like being on ice. I mean,
Oh
that's what you
my
are.
gosh.
And
Oh
so I felt bad for her because the other one was already
yeah.
deceased. And I felt bad for her. So I picked her up and I brought her up to the house and I wrapped her in a towel and
Mm-hmm.
she looked like she was dying. Like she wouldn't eat,
Oh
wouldn't drink. She looked like she was dying.
yeah.
P.S. That later that I left her in the towel. She didn't move. She
Yeah.
just left her in the towel.
Yeah.
Um, I put her in a new towel, and every time I went out, I swore she was dead, but then she was breathing just a little bit. She's in the
Mm-hmm.
garage in a tote, and she looks a lot better.
Oh my
It's a
goodness.
Cornish cross, and they're pretty.
Oh,
I don't
wow.
find them to be resilient for Cornish
Yeah,
cross.
yeah,
I mean, they have the
agreed.
other one. I'm convinced had a heart attack
Uh-huh.
from the hail.
Oh, yeah, could have. How big was the hail?
Um, 3/4 of an inch.
Whoa, yeah, that's good sized hail right there.
Yeah, we had about like an inch deep on the ground.
My goodness.
But yeah, they're doing fine. I mean, I can't believe she's doing
You know,
okay.
it's
But
not just the size of the hail, it's how hard it's hitting them.
it hurts when it hits. But anyway, she's doing
Yeah.
good. We're just waiting on it to warm up to put her back
Hmm.
outside.
Awesome. Yep. Hey, the
Hey,
unknown
the unknown.
knows by Voivod. That's tricky to say. Yeah, I'm glad that at least she survived and bless you for trying to, keep her alive. That's a good
well,
chicken mama.
I mean, I'm not a firm believer in taking all these lengths to do stuff, but the bottom line is I just wanted to give her a warm, peaceful spot if she was going to
Yeah.
pass and not be eaten by her flock. You know how that goes, right?
Yes, yes. They
So
would
she's
kill those
doing
that
good, Barb. If it's going to be
can't.
like 60s tomorrow, I'm going to put her back outside, see how she does. But
Hey, Barb.
yeah, so we'll see how it goes. You
Thanks.
had news, Mountain Grandma, to share
I have news to
about,
share.
yeah, Cynthia's crafts.
Oh gosh, yes. Hey, Danny, Wicked Awesome Gardening. Good to see you. If everybody could add Cynthia at Cynthia's Crafts and More to their prayer list. She lost her brother just this last week, and he was young. The family's really having a hard time and struggling, as is Cynthia. So, if everybody could pray for her, that'd be great. Maybe stop by and say hi. That's
Prayers for
Cynthia's
her and her family.
Crafts and More. Mm-hmm.
Cynthia's crafts and more.
Yep. Thank you, Lisa. So today we're going to be talking about our food sustainability and some of our sustainability goals. I know a lot of us have those, and I think like we shared on the last week's live, being fully sustainable is not entirely possible. I mean, we're all on the internet, and we could go on and on. Like gas for our vehicles. I mean, there's so many ways that we can't be sustainable completely, but food is one way that we can try to be as sustainable as possible. Again, maybe not completely, but it's something that we all want to work on. And I thought I would share some interesting information with you guys.
Hey, Danny.
Um, Talking about how much Americans eat per year. And I'll bet you're not going to guess how many pounds of food the average American eats per year. Does anybody want to shout out some best guesses?
2 ton.
Nope. It's actually less than that, but I think you would.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably 1 ton, but
It is 1 ton.
yeah,
You win the prize, but 1 ton is 2,000 pounds. So
right.
yep, 2,000 pounds each. So the breakdown of that is 600, according to the USDA. So this comes from the US Department of Agriculture. According to them, the average American eats 630 pounds of dairy, 185 pounds of meat and poultry. I wondered where was the fish. They didn't have that listed, but 197 pounds of grains, 31 pounds of cheese, 85 pounds of fats and oils.
Can you repeat that? Because I laughed and I cut it off.
Oh, okay. 31 pounds of cheese, 85 pounds of fats and oils, 273 pounds of fruit, and 415 pounds of vegetables. So, I thought that was pretty interesting right there. That's a lot we eat a lot. I won't make a sidebar and say, no wonder they want to kill us off. I'm not going to say that.
But I just did.
But I just did. So I guess, that the average American, that's what we're eating. So it makes me wonder too, like, obviously, where's this information coming from? I would guess that it's coming from what we're purchasing, right? Maybe the amount of sales. And so if you kind of rope into that, we also have a lot of food spoilage in this country. Like, if people aren't careful, you're going to have a lot of food spoilage in your house. The grocery stores intentionally put fruits and vegetables right up by the door so that you get those first, and then you walk through the grocery store while your fresh vegetables are sitting there at room temperature and already beginning their spoilage. If you want your food to last longer, go to the fruits and vegetables department last, even though it's so convenient to just go there first. But anyways, I thought we could chat today about what we need for a year and how we can get there, and things that we can do and what we can grow and harvest to be more sustainable. I thought that would be a fun conversation. So another piece of info, and maybe we could go through these maybe one by one. Grains. So for 1 year, for survival, per month, per adult, you would want 32 and a half pounds per month per adult. For a whole year, it's 390 pounds, but for a child, it's like 195. So it's half of that. So grains, that would be, growing corn. Gwen, I know it. I to be. What do you put on your plate? That's kind of what I was thinking of, is what goes on your plate that ends up in the garbage, or if you're eating at home or at a restaurant or something. Yeah, the average the average American does eat way too much. I don't think you meant fastest.
Fattest.
Barb, I'm with you, and I'm right in that group. I'm needing to do something about that, to be honest. If my face looks fuller, there's a reason for that. It's also traveled across country or the world before it reaches the store. There it is. Yep, Barb. Agree. Gwen, see, we'd all be tinier folks if we ate like you.
I'm still waiting for SHTF because I figure, that'll be helpful.
That's what I'm saying. If you've ever watched Survivor or Alone series, we
Oh,
always like to
gosh.
watch those. The people that go out there with some weight on them fare the best for sure. They do, and they do it intentionally.
Yep.
See, that's
Yep.
why I'm fluffy.
Yeah,
Barb just
exactly,
Josh
Barb.
were
I
talking about the other day.
I watched, well, I think it was Super Size Me, one of those movies and or
Oh,
documentaries. And
mm-hmm,
I don't always fall for that stuff because
mm-hmm.
sometimes stuff that is portrayed is not true. But I will say
Good
this,
to
that they
hear.
they actually said I think there was a place in Texas where um the fast food restaurants were more likely to sell like all the larger size meals and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, I believe it. I feel like as far as so the list is that I'm going to go through what it says we need for 1 year survival is grains, meats, fats and oils, beans, legumes, milk and dairy. Sugar is on this list. Again, I don't know. Maybe that's for morale. Fruits and vegetables, salt, baking powder, baking soda, and vinegar. And I feel like obviously baking powder, baking soda, and vinegar, you're gonna have to just have those like stored up, right? And it's saying a pound per year, which feels really low to me, to be honest. Only because baking soda, you could brush your teeth with that, you can clean with that. Likewise for vinegar, right? There's so many ways of using vinegar that I don't know. Like I would think you'd want more than just a pound of each of those for a year. Mind you, it's per adult though. Salt, 5 pounds, and that's another thing. You can't grow or raise salt. So, at least as far as I know, if anybody knows of a vegetable that's naturally salty that you can grow, kelp doesn't count
I
unless you
could
live by the seaside.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't use a lot of salt.
Mm-mm. No, but I mean, you don't want to be.
Deficient?
Yeah, I'm trying to think with hyponatremia. Is that when you're deficient with salt? Hyponatremia, I think it is, and it can be serious.
Right, but it has to be, see, it's hard because iodized salt is bad for some situations and good
Uh
for
huh.
some other situations.
Yeah, true.
So, that's I'm getting it mixed up backwards, but I know with
Yeah.
like I have hypothyroid
Uh huh.
and iodized stuff is an issue.
Yeah.
Hey, Gear Griden.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
Nanny
you need the
Tam.
iodine. So true. It literally makes my stomach.
Yeah. Yep.
The bug
Yep.
feeds me twice at home. Yeah. Aw, Barb, I can't wait for you to eat too.
I know it. I'm
Hey,
just
Nanny Tam.
hey Barb, not to put you on the spot, but do you want to share any good news or would you prefer to leave it private? We'll just give her a chance to think about that. And if she doesn't
Okay.
answer, that's okay too.
All right. Another one that's on this list that I thought was interesting for 1 year survival is 5 pounds of sugar per adult. Like, do we really? I don't know that that's a necessity, to be honest. Maybe a morale booster, right? But probably if there was a grid down SHTF for any extended period of time, you're going to want some morale boosters, I suppose. Oh, Barb says you can talk about it.
Well, that's
You
good.
share. Praise
So
report.
I want to make sure that I'm using the right terminology. So hang on. So good news for Barb, and so your prayers are paying off. Her CT test results look great, and the treatment worked.
Awesome, Barb.
So she has to have a scan every so often, and in August she'll have another scan done. I'm going to leave it at that
Yay!
because that's her business. But yay!
Yay!
So happy for you.
Congratulations. God is good.
That's it. Keep up
That
the
is so
prayers for Barb.
awesome.
That's
Love that.
awesome. And for those of you who don't know, was fighting cancer, so
Mhm.
she's a strong woman.
Yes, she is. That is wonderful news. Yay, Barb.
Barb's a tough cookie.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And I think everybody who's here in the chat knows her channel, but if you're a lurker or if you are new here, go check out Barb's Country Home because she's got some great content to share over there.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. So, back to this list. Sugar. Since we were talking about sweet Barb, we'll talk about sugar.
And 5 pounds of sugar.
5 pounds of sugar per adult. That's per month. Did I say per year? They say this is per month. I just don't.
That's crazy.
Surely not. I mean, maybe if you want to add up what we have in our sodas, um, what the American diet has. If you buy any processed food. Hey, Ginger, good to see you. Thanks for
Hey,
coming in.
Ginger.
That 5 pounds of sugar per month per adult. I don't know. Like, I don't think you need that for survival. They're saying 58 pounds per year per adult is what you would want to have stored for survival. And the only thing I can think of is morale. And maybe if you're making some herbal medicine and you need to have that be a little sweet, because sugar doesn't represent just granulated sugar, it represents honey, which is also medicinal, right? It represents maple syrup, all of the kinds of sugar that you can have, natural or otherwise. Um, 58 pounds per year. So I'm just thinking either as a morale booster or maybe honey for some medicinal uses or to maybe sweeten up an otherwise really nasty tasting um, herbal medicine, right? For people to take. Otherwise, I can't imagine. And they're saying 32 pounds per year for a child.
That's ridiculous.
And
Well,
how
I'd
much
rather have honey
toothpaste?
than sugar because at least the honey has some antimicrobial
Yeah,
properties and stuff.
yeah, yep. I could see the honey, and honey lasts forever too. That's what's really awesome about honey. So another thing that would be challenging for people would be the milk and dairy because not everybody's got goat. We have goats, but right now we're not milking the goats, and we probably won't. I wouldn't be surprised if we don't milk them this year. We're probably going to breed them this winter, and then we'll have goats and milk next year. So I want to prepare to have because we'll have a lot of goats and milk. We've got 5 or 6 females out there right now. So hopefully that'll work out good for us. But milk and dairy, they say 8 pounds. This is all in pounds. So sorry, it's milk, but it's 8 pounds per month, 87 pounds per year, and 44 for a child. And she couldn't even eat bread because bread breaks down to sugar.
Yep.
Yes, it does.
Yep.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So fats and oils. I'm doing another hard one. Hard meaning I feel like it's something that a lot of people would maybe have a difficult time, except for you, Lisa, because you raise pigs. So you've got
Lard.
lard. Mm-hmm. Fats and oils, 3 pounds per month, um, 26 pounds per year, and for a child, 13 pounds. Basically, all of that, if you're ever wondering how much for a child, they pretty much cut it in half. And that's for a child less than the age of 12. So I thought that was interesting. But that's another one. If you don't have an animal or you don't hunt,
So when they become teenagers,
they're eating like an adult at that point.
they're eating more than an adult.
Yeah, no kidding, Lisa. Isn't that the truth? Yeah. Until there's a grid down, then everybody's eating less than they need to eat.
Here's
Except
your
for us
cookie,
fluffy
Junior.
folks. Huh?
Here's your one cookie, Junior.
Yeah. Right. Um, So the other one I think would probably be challenging is the grains. I don't know. Like,
Yep.
so one of the things, so you could grow corn, but when you grow corn, you got to grow a lot of corn.
Yep.
I mean, you can't, the whole pollination thing. You have to grow it in rows. You got to grow a lot of corn. Amaranth grows very well. It will grow in the woods. You don't even need to take up garden bed space.
What do you
Anybody,
do with it?
huh?
What do you do with it?
Well, what you're supposed to do with it. This needs to be a video because I harvested my amaranth last year and I won't lie, I have not processed it yet. And I think I made life harder on myself by doing that because now I'm going to really, if anybody's ever harvested seed where you harvest a lot of it and you're out there blowing on it to blow the chaff off. I'm thinking of when I harvested my basil like that. Your little seeds like that, they're really
Yeah.
tedious to get the seed separated from the chaff, right? Like all the stuff. But that's what you can do. And with the amaranth seed, you can grind it into a grain. You can eat it like porridge. You can pop it in the microwave like popcorn. Not that you'd have a microwave in a grid down scenario, but I guess you could put it in a skillet with a lid and pop it that way.
Wow.
Um, you can put it in meal bars and things. I might do a healthy snack video with some amaranth. We'll see how much of it I can get. To buy
Wow.
some too, but I've got it, and it comes off like these big plumes. I can go grab it and show you. You guys want to have some show and tell with some amaranth that's
Sure.
like overdue to be processed? All right,
Yeah,
I'll
my
be right
quinoa
back.
is the same way. Hey, the Nut House. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, I've heard of it, Barb, but I've just never heard somebody give as much information about it as Tammy does.
Oh,
Oh, you got to.
I put it on.
I can
Here's
see it
one. The
now.
red one. And I mean, I've got several of these. Ooh, see, here's one. You can kind of see the red. The color's fading because it's from last year.
So you
But,
don't need sun for it?
huh? No, this is because I harvested and it's dried. This is from last year. I'm
No,
behind.
no, no, no. No, I meant you said you grew it in the woods without sun.
Oh no, it had sun. No, okay. So I didn't grow it in the woods last year. I'm gonna grow it in the woods this year
So it'll
because
grow in shade.
yeah, it's like a weed. It's like a pigweed or something like that. I'm gonna see if I can find some little seeds down here at the bottom. So because some of them did fall off. Let me see.
Oh, you've
Yeah,
been eaten by the green screen again.
I don't know if you can. The seeds are very, very tiny. They're like, I don't know that I can even show you. I wished I could.
That's okay. We all know Google.
It's driving me nuts though. I want to show you so badly. But in this one, wait, hold on. You see how you can see red and you see little white dots?
Yep.
The little white dots are the seeds.
Okay.
So they're really small. And I think I made my life hard by waiting because when you first pull these up, you should be able to shake them and have the seeds fall off of them. And they will propagate really easily because of the fact that they do that. But they call them a wonderful survival food
Like
because
when?
because of the ways that I mentioned you can eat them. So just to recap those and add on a couple of more. Hey, the Nut House, good to see you. Um, you can eat the amaranth as porridge. You can grind
Hmm.
it a little bit and use it to bake with as flour. And you can also pop it like popcorn. You can pop it like popcorn and then make a meal bar out of it, or just make a meal bar with the seeds. And then the other thing that you can do with it too is you can eat the leaves. The Hopi actually grow red amaranth, and there's a lot of versions of amaranth, but I'm partial to the red amaranth. Fun fact: I lived on a Hopi reservation for a year when I was little, but and I don't know, I I just loved that experience in my life, and I trust them. I trust them. And think about where they. Anybody who doesn't know the Hopi, they live in northern Arizona, and it's very dry there, and they grow the most amazing corn. Hey, Charles, good to see you.
Hey, Charles.
Um, and they, it's a very dry climate. So last year I had planted the amaranth in some of my bed space. And in some areas, I neglected them a little more because I could, and they still lived. So if I can neglect something and it still survives, that tells me it can grow out in the woods without me. And then when I started researching it, I realized that it didn't need my garden bed space at all. It could be right in my woods. So I
Right.
am starting the seeds inside, and then I'm going to transplant it out there. And then hopefully it'll just, keep on propagating and just turn into a really nice amaranth cluster for me. That would be an amazing thing. But
I'm
there's a
trying
source
to
of grain for you when we're talking.
I'm trying to post a link. Just bear with me. It's so stinking long. I'm gonna let the comment go and then I'm gonna delete it because it's taking me forever to delete.
Okay. Oh, there it is.
Remove. Okay, I
Yeah. So
removed it.
there's
Let
more
me get
about
the right
amaranth.
one.
Hmm. I know there's people who also they purchase wheat berries. And if you need 390 pounds of grain for a year, I mean, you can obviously get flour. That's a lot of flour. It would be nice if we had some homegrown alternatives that would stretch us through. So amaranth can do that.
Let's try
Potatoes.
this again.
I love making potato flour foods like the lefse, which is a Norwegian thing. I've made that, and potato flour cinnamon rolls is amazing because the dough is so light and fluffy, but it stretches your flour if you add potatoes to it.
Yep.
Otherwise, 390 pounds per adult per year. I mean, that's a lot. That sounds kind of crazy. What else would be grain? Rice, right?
Quinoa.
Mm-hmm. Quinoa, chia seeds. But can you imagine harvesting chia seeds? That'd probably be crazy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
saw a thing where if you like with the quinoas, if when you harvested it and you put it in a bucket and you go from bucket to bucket in a light breeze, it'll blow the chaff off.
Mm-hmm. Huh.
But I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard when you're harvesting small seeds like that. So I guess rice, surely with that 390 pounds per year, they must be counting like rice, barley, and people can't really, they're probably not going to grow these things. I don't know. You could
Yeah.
probably stock up on wheat berries, I suppose, but still, if you're talking about self sustainability, you're not going to be able to replace that. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Like and beans are not like a lot of the dried beans I'm never going to get to grow here
Yeah.
because they need the
Beans and
longevity.
legumes, they say we need 6 pounds per month, 70 pounds per year for an adult.
Yep.
Nanny Tam wants to know. Oh, where is it? There it is. So
I don't
quinoa can
know.
be a flour substitute. I don't know
I don't
about
know. I don't
that.
really
It
eat
is
it.
super good for you. I think it's more
Hold
like a
on.
rice substitute. I think you could put it on the same level as rice.
It says quinoa flour can be used as a single flour replacement for wheat flour in some recipes. I don't know
Nice.
anything about it.
Hmm. The only time I've used quinoa is in like a cucumber and tomato salad kind of thing. You cook
Yeah.
quinoa cold, you add in some cucumbers and some tomatoes and green onions.
Yep.
That's the only way that I've had quinoa. I just haven't cooked with it any other way. Like I have chia seeds. Chia seeds I've used a lot more of.
Right.
Hmm. Awesome, Barb. I'm growing the kidney beans too. Super excited about that. Hey, I wonder if no peas would be a legume. Yeah, peas and beans are a legume. We need 70 pounds per year. We'll see how the kidney beans do. I'm kind of curious how many kidney beans you're going to get out of one plant. Does anybody know the answer to that question?
No, I don't.
Oh, you're going to like it, Nanny Tam. That quinoa is really good. It's good for you too. It's yummy.
That's what my husband would say too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so the stuff we can actually do something about would be the meats and the fruits and vegetables, right? The meats,
Yes.
say, um, this is what doesn't sound right from this 1.6 pounds per month on meats. And
Hold on a minute. Go back.
that's
Hold on one second. Charles at Bushcraft said you get a lot from one plant on the kidney beans.
you do?
I didn't know that.
Awesome. I've got 3 of them out there growing. Whoops.
Okay, so go back to the meat. I'm sorry.
Okay. So something's wrong with my number here. Let me search for something real quick.
Okay.
If anybody's curious, there are calculators online that you can go to and it can calculate how much food you need for survival for your family for a year. All right. Ooh, the average person in the United States eats 327.8 pounds of meat annually. And then I found in another website, they say 181 pounds of meat annually. I'm going to go with the 181. That sounds really, really high. Um, hmm. So it equates to 1.75 to 3.5 pounds of meat per person per week. So a family of 4 would require 7 to 14 pounds of meat per week, or 364 to 728 pounds of meat per year. How much do you guys find that you go through, Lisa? Because I know you guys are completely self sustainable with meat
We
on your
well,
own.
not completely. We buy beef, and
Mm-hmm.
we've bought fish from our bulk order. Beef
Mm-hmm.
locally, fish from our bulk order.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because I kept Norman, we bought pork from a local farmer. But
Mm-hmm.
like chickens, chickens, we usually figure one chicken per week for the two of us. And the reason why we do that is because we get two dinners out of it. And then we also make chicken stock out of it. And then we also get like a lunch out of it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um, and then,
And then broth.
oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Can't forget that.
And oh, all the time. And then what was the other? Um,
Wow.
Turkey, like we still have turkey in the freezer
Mm-hmm.
because we're not big turkey eaters, but we've still got a few in there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, I think that for us, what's really I don't have the poundage, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's two of us, and Lord knows we can cut back on what we eat.
Yeah. I mean, we're prepared. Right, Lisa? I,
Yeah.
I got some fluff that I'll be filling in with. Be like, no, honey, you eat that. Grandma's
Yeah.
good.
I mean, reality of it is if I had to start eating laying chickens, I would do that. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Yeah. 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 So
And
there's
then there's the
chicken.
hunting,
Mhm. Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
Ryan got a buck last year. We applied for our
Love that.
team tag for an elk.
Hmm.
So there's four of us going
Oh,
in to hunt for
awesome.
an elk if we get the tag.
Uh huh. Yes. You guys, it's a draw there for you too, huh?
Yeah, and so that's why we applied as a team because there's better luck as a team than a single
Mm-hmm.
person.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hoping. Hey,
Yeah.
Christine.
Hey, Christine.
Yeah, elk backstrap is to die for.
Mm-hmm. I haven't had elk in so long.
Oh,
It was something you had to get drawn for in Arizona, and my husband just hasn't been drawn in so many years. Of course, we're not there anymore, but there's no elk here in Missouri.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome, Christine.
I know
I hope
there's
you guys get drawn.
I know there's one place, I can't remember which one it is, but if you draw a cow, um, in one region, you won't be able to draw for another 9 years.
Oh,
So
I
putting
don't.
in for the team, we're hoping.
Mhm. Yeah, elk is a draw hunt in Oklahoma too.
Yeah. So the
Mhm.
good news is if we did get a tag and we did get an elk,
Mhm.
um, we would split that with the other couple. So that would be a lot of meat.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and then fishing, of course.
Oh yeah. You just got to watch with fishing nowadays. There's a lot of stuff you have to really do your information. You have to
Mhm.
really do your research because I know that one of the lakes around here has an issue with the worms in the fish,
Ooh, shoot.
and people are always fishing there and catching and eating, and that's not good.
No, that's not
People think
good.
it's okay to just pick the worms out. No, thank you.
Yeah.
And you have to
Yeah.
watch for the metals and everything else. So you really need to
Mhm.
be knowledgeable.
Yeah. About where you're fishing from.
Right, just like chronic wasting disease. You need to know about signs of that and stuff, so
Mhm. Yep. Thank goodness we do not have that going on in our area.
yep.
When we were in Arizona, there were like four lakes that were all contaminated with some kind of bacteria. And it was due to where the fish hatchery that had provided some of the fish. They just imported some bacteria into the waters, which was such a shame. So,
Well, everybody gets excited about the Canadian geese. No offense, but every year in Connecticut, beaches would close because of the disease from their feces.
no kidding.
And
Oh, wow.
so I'm not too thrilled when I hear them coming overhead because they're pooping on my property and I don't know what they got.
Mm-hmm.
So we try to deter them from the property because there's little ponds around us
Mm-hmm.
and they love to nest on the rocks and we don't care for that.
Yeah. Yeah. Christine, did you see this? Got a
Yep.
cat 24 years ago, um, and haven't been. That was my husband's scenario.
Yep. So like yeah, Christine gets it. I can't
Mm-hmm.
stand seeing them. They're like rats in the sky
Mm-hmm.
and they're just disease ridden. I don't want them.
Hmm. I don't think I've ever seen them. This is like the first I've heard about the Canadian geese. But mind you, in Arizona, not a lot of Canadian. I mean, I don't know. I guess they didn't make it down that far. I can see where that would be a problem, though.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want them contaminating if they're closing it for high bacteria for a beach,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
you don't want your cattle drinking that water and they fly over the property. So that's why we kind of deter them from the property because I don't want them flying over my meat bird pen and pooping in it while they're
Right.
flying. Because
Yeah. No kidding.
all the other reasons why, but
Mm-hmm. So the next up is vegetables. How much
vegetables.
vegetables? I'm checking.
Oh, hold on, you're freezing.
Can you see me
Okay,
now?
start over with the vegetables.
Okay. So, according to this one list, it says 8 pounds per month for vegetables, which feels low, but maybe that's because they're not very heavy, and 90 pounds per year for an adult. Now, Lisa, I know you've weighed your food before. You've weighed your vegetables to see how many pounds. Can you give some examples of how many pounds of things that you've grown?
Well, I think we grew 120 pounds total last year.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
Some of the bigger harvests were, um, I think it was 38 or 39 pounds of tomatoes from 30
Mm-hmm.
plants. Now, mind you,
Awesome.
if we had the same 30 plants and I was in Connecticut or Missouri, that probably would
Mhm.
have tripled.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so the other thing was, I think we grew a ton of potatoes.
Mhm.
Um, and then what else?
Did you ever weigh your potatoes?
I did. I just don't remember the total, but I'm sure it was like 30 pounds or so, 40 pounds,
Mhm. That's
because
awesome.
they
How
do
many
well here.
pounds would you how many pounds per potato plant can you typically get,
I
do
don't
you
know.
think? I'm
I
gonna
don't know.
Google it.
I mean, here's the thing. We had two long rows, two rows. I'm trying to think of the, hmm, two 20-foot rows.
Mhm. Wow. That's
So,
awesome.
this year
Okay.
we have four.
Mhm.
Um,
So it says you can expect to harvest 3 to 5 pounds of potatoes per potato plant.
how many?
3 to 5
Wow,
pounds per potato plant.
that's really cool. I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'm growing some in bags this year, but I'm just looking at the bag and I'm thinking, okay, how many potatoes are going to fit in that bag? Like how big of a bag of potatoes? Um, I wouldn't suspect that I'm going to get more than 10 pounds of potatoes out of each of my grow bags just because, if I went to go buy a 10-pound bag of potatoes, I'd probably put it right down in there.
Right, right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we don't have the space to grow like huge rows of things
Mm-hmm.
because we just don't have the spot for
Yeah.
that. But we try to pack it in as
Same.
tight as possible. And then I added a garden in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna try and do cabbage this year so we can make some sauerkraut.
Mm-hmm. Here's an
But we'll
interesting one. It says for potatoes, sorry, nerding out on potatoes over here.
It is
Plants per one person for a year. It says 4 to 6 potato plants will feed one person for a year.
4 to 6 will feed one person for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we're golden.
Mm-hmm. You are golden.
We are golden.
Yeah, we need to grow more potatoes over here. One thing that I got to try to put in the woods, and now I'm just trying to find a place to put it, is Jerusalem artichokes.
Oh, cool.
Or anywhere I don't have garden bed space. I just need to find a place for them because they'll grow poor man's potatoes, right? Below the soil. And that's the hard part because we just have such a hard ground here. So where can I put it? I was going to put it on the on the dirt that was pulled up for our storm shelter, but
Yep.
it's so rocky. So then I was thinking, well, that's not a very good spot. But then I thought to myself, well, why don't I just treat it like a garden bed? Like far enough out, guys. I'm not going to go dig right up against my storm shelter, just saying. But far enough out where that dirt is loose, planting some there, but digging up dirt and then putting in good soil in its place and sticking some of the Jerusalem artichoke over there because that way, I mean, I don't even have to always harvest it. I can leave it and it's good until I decide to dig it up and eat it.
Well, that's good. Do you have to worry about deer eating that kind of stuff?
Um, so theoretically, yes,
Okay.
but we have a so here's my hope, and mind you, we'll see. Everything's, a trial. We've got a plot back at the back of the property where we have some deer feed out. So
Oh, good.
I feel like that will draw them back here. Plus, you know, there's so much activity up here at this part of on this side of the homestead, the woods when I say the woods, when I'm talking about this kind of stuff, I mean like right off our yard space, right there,
Right, right.
not too far out. Now I'm hoping that maybe they won't because it's so close to the household and they're being drawn to the back. That's my hope.
Okay, so I'm not trying to burst your bubble. I hope that works really well for you.
But it won't. They're going to eat
No,
it
I'm
like
not saying that.
Jerusalem
I don't
artichokes
know.
do?
I don't know, but I'm going to give you what happened here.
Huh.
If I like my raspberry bushes are budding, meaning that they're growing up through the canes again,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been yucky out, so they're pretty low key right now with
Yeah.
yucky weather because they bed down.
Mm-hmm.
I have to get them fenced in
Mm-hmm.
or they will eat the canes right down.
Hmm.
And they will do that, and that is right by my front door,
Oh my
right
goodness.
next to the truck.
Wow. So they
So
have no
everything
fear.
here has to be fenced in or they will eat it.
Yeah. We've been fencing in our garden. So we have been getting those fenced in. The Jerusalem artichokes, maybe they would dig those up. So far, what I've planted out in the woods, I'm thinking they're not going to eat. But more to come. Like, hopefully, it works out the way I want it to. And
Yeah, just be prepared. That's all.
yeah, thank you for sharing that, Lisa.
Yeah.
I'll watch
I
it.
mean,
I'll
because,
do more research on what they think of Jerusalem artichokes.
well, that's what I'm worried about with my back garden with the orange fence is because, like, I'm not putting up this amazing fence. I do have an electric net
Mm-hmm.
fence I can use. Um, but right now I'm just trying it because the reality of it is I'm not spending money on that area.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and traditionally here, even when I've had electric fences up, the deer jump them and
Mm-hmm.
they go in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, they used to make themselves at home and they used to try to eat the spilled pig feed. So they're a nuisance. I mean,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can
oh,
be. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure
Yikes.
that's why mine are so friendly.
Probably.
And we're not in a subdivision or anything like that, but I'm sure people around me are feeding them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Nanny Tam, very awesome on the fiddleheads. I've seen
Yum.
those in videos, but I've never seen them in person. I don't know. I haven't seen them out in the woods so far. Unless I'm missing them altogether, which is a possibility. Dear.
Of course, gear.
Mm-hmm.
When they're
Um,
in season and
yeah.
we have a tag.
Mm-hmm. Another good weight producer is the squash. All of your squash too are good, heavy, feed multiple people kind of plants.
Yep.
Especially like your butternut squash, the spaghetti squash. I love growing spaghetti squash. Oh my gosh, did you see this? Hold on. $2,000 on a fence around his garden and the deer just jump it. Oh my goodness.
Well, I was just typing back to Charles. So we I was going to say exactly. I mean, I use T-posts and like an orange fencing, this plastic fencing,
Uh huh.
um, and stuff. But I'm thinking the squirrels and the chipmunks may get in there when I have the cabbage, but I'm going to cover that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I'm not spending all that money on a fence. I'm
Mm-hmm.
plus I just want it up there temporarily anyway.
Mm-hmm. Did you see what Christine said? They ate her sunflower plants. Wasn't that what they did to yours too, Lisa?
Yep. Yep. In fact, the sunflower plants were back there where my
Limit of
garden
12.
is now. But they literally waited until the day before they bloomed. Hey, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch.
Hey, Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. Good to
Hey,
see
Lantern
you.
Creek. Happy homeschooling.
Hey, Kenzie. Yeah, a limit of 12 deer in Georgia. My goodness, you guys must have plenty.
It's a tag here. Oh, so annoying. Lottery.
Mhm. Yes, that is annoying. I remember that.
Connecticut, they're like rats. I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah, same here. Okay,
Pennsylvania has an incredible deer population too.
Pennsylvania does?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I don't know. When I think Pennsylvania, I don't think of like, forests. I've never been there.
Yep. Motion sensor sprinklers. Ooh.
Oh, no
Ooh.
kidding. Hmm.
That's smart.
I heard someone share the other day that you could get like the little tin pie plates or something like that, and then put them on a spinner and put those on the edge of your garden, and just the movement kind of freaks them out, I guess.
Yeah, some people say it works, some people don't, and I don't know. I've got a couple whirly gigs in there, but we'll
Hi,
see how it
Tina.
goes.
Thanks so much.
That's motion centered sensor sprinklers.
Hey,
Hmm.
LP. Thanks for coming in.
Hey LP, hey Tina.
Okay, our last one is, so they said for fruit, which is our last one. Did we talk about, we talked about beans, we talked about fruits and vegetables.
Yep. We talked
Veg
about veggies.
oh, veggies. Okay, so fruits, they're saying the same for fruits. That's going to be a struggle. That'd be a struggle to have 90 pounds of fruit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a struggle
I mean,
even.
unless it's tomato a fruit. You know how some of the vegetables are fruits too?
Yeah, it is a fruit. But I mean, I can tell you from a fruit standpoint, fruit's expensive, so we're not getting a lot of it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we're going to get peaches this year. I'm so excited.
Oh, that's real
I
exciting.
ordered organza bags. Like, I'm seriously packaging these little dudes up to try to
Yep.
keep the bugs and whatever else I can out of them. I
And
want,
apples.
and the apples, I'm getting a couple apples too. So
That's awesome.
excited. I know. It's so fun.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, Ginger, you can totally do that.
Wait, what did Ginger say? I missed it. You can eat the leaves of all your broccoli plants. Can put smaller ones in salad, bigger use as a wrap. You know
You
how the
can saute
broccoli
them.
comes with like a really fat stalk? I always eat that stalk too. I slice it real thin, and then you can cut it in quarters after
Yep.
you slice it, and you can saute it with like your mushrooms or whatever else.
You can saute the leaves too of the
Oh, I bet
broccoli
those are
plant.
good sauteed. Yeah, congratulations on your broccoli.
I usually give the broccoli leaves to my chickens.
Oh, wow, that's a good idea. Put a radio out there. Christine, that's
That's
awesome.
awesome.
You know, I'm always afraid to put seeds directly in the garden bed because I'm afraid when they start growing, I'm going to think they're a weed and pull them. That's like my fear. So I'll swear I've done it. So
I know.
I planted some dill out there and I put some little sticks next to it so that I know if a suspected weed pops up where the stick is, don't pull it. It's not a weed. I need to do that with some more things though.
Ryan had me come out into the raised bed where the asparagus is. There's calendula and dill and stuff like that. And he's like, "Is this calendula? I don't want to pull it."
Uh-huh. Look at this. Grate the broccoli
Yep.
stalk slaw.
Broccoli slaw is delicious.
I actually have not done this before. I've not
Yeah.
grated the broccoli stalk. I'm going to do
Broccoli
that.
stem fries
That's
are
really
yummy,
good idea.
Charles said. I never did that, but that's good.
Oh yeah, that does sound good. I haven't done that either. Trim it and eat it raw. It's delicious.
Yep.
So many ways to use our food and cut back on the food waste, right?
Yeah,
All
we've
right,
done a lot of that.
we're gonna have to wrap it up, guys.
Yep.
Anybody got any questions for us? I hope you all enjoyed today's chat. It's actually quite motivating for me, these kinds of conversations, because now I feel like I need to go grow some stuff.
Yeah. I'm I just want to get through the next like 3 or 4 nights of cold temps and pray that my tomatoes make it.
Mhm.
That's all.
Oh my gosh, Lisa, I'm going to be praying for your tomatoes too. Christine, awesome on your pear
Yeah.
trees.
We put feed bags over every individual plant last night, and now I removed them, and now we'll be putting them down again.
Suburban Hillbilly Gear wants to.
She's starting again.
You're
I mean,
awesome, Gear.
she's starting with what Gear does.
Oh,
Thanks, Ginger.
thank you, Ginger.
Thanks, P and J.
All right, guys. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your week. Endeavor to persevere. I love that. Very well said. And I hope we encouraged you all. I feel encouraged. So, everybody, have a great rest of your week. Make sure to go out there and support one another with all the collaborations going on, and just check out each other's videos so we can help each other be successful. And we will see you next week. Everyone, take care. And thanks again for coming.
Y'all
Bye,
have a good
everybody.
one. Bye.
Have a good one.